Bam. I bet we have noise now. Let's see if this on the Facebook sounds correct. It'll take just a second. And then I'm going to bring, as you already see, two guests. Let's go ahead and start. I'll just do it that way. Ed, Katie, how are you today?
I'm a 9.2 on a scale of 1 to 10.
All right. Katie, how do you feel today?
I'm feeling good. I can't say I always answer with numbers, but
Well,
but I'm
we're going to
good.
hear and make sure you sound good. And once I hear your voice, we'll be ready to roll. You ready?
Hear my voice? Can you hear my voice?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay,
I'm just listening to it right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we all good. We're good. All right. So I just want to go ahead and give Ed a little bit of grief on this. Every time I ask him, every single time I ask him how he's doing, it always comes down in a different way. It's either I'm a lemon in a world full of apples, or I'm a scale of 8 to 10. Or 1 to 10. I'm a 13. It's always different, but he's always honest.
That's the word, authentic. Everybody else is lying. Everybody else is GOOD, and they're not all good. They're
Katie's
a mixture.
Not lying.
They're a mixture of all kind of colors, and I'm going to define mine with more of an exacting number.
I like that. Watch this. Let me show you how people really do it. Watch this. Katie, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good too. See how quick that was? I didn't have to do math, arithmetic, or anything.
I want you to know if I'm a 3, though. And
what am I supposed to do with that, though? What do you want me to do? If you're a 3,
That's a good
I know
question.
you're not a hugger, but I feel like at a 3,
I'm a pretty good hugger.
Somebody needs a hug.
Maybe he does need a hug.
Maybe Katie?
Maybe that's what it is.
Daughter, father, y'all do
See,
that.
my thing is, if I'm a 3, I'm going to say I'm a good because I'm trying to be good. You know what I mean? I'm trying to show up in the way of good.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm probably not, but I'm going to try.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell everybody up front. I'm going to get some bona fides out of the way. We are not diagnosing anything. We're not treating anything. We're not telling you to start taking, to stop taking. You have a doctor for a reason. Go do that. This is just for educational purposes. I like to do these things around entertainment as well. We'll have people tuning in and out as we go, but a lot of this will be viewed after the fact, as it always is. I already had a few questions. I set this thing up as a Q&A about holistic health, and I have 5 questions that have been pre-sent, and I haven't checked my phone, even though it's been going off. I've got one question that's sent to me through text, so we'll get to that in just a minute. But with that being said, I thought the first question I thought was really intriguing was how you defined the word holistic health, or just holistic health in, in general. Ed, let's start with you. Katie, let's go with you. And while y'all do that, I'm going to turn the air down because it's hot.
Sure.
Yep, go for it. Ed, how do you do holistic health? How do you define it?
Great question.
I thought so.
So
I'm really good.
What I'm going to do is actually reverse it and say, what isn't holistic health, perhaps, because I've been doing this 47 years, and the word holistic to me, brings in the bigger picture of a somewhat complex system of healing and health. But what it isn't is what I call a silo system. Silos are like the silos you see that on farms. They all have containers that usually hold one certain thing, like hay or seed or this or that. Traditional medicine looks at the body with a silo approach. If you have a urinary tract issue, they're not going to look at how you sleep. How is your emotional state? Are you getting a divorce? What kind of foods are you eating? Do you have seed oils? How much inflammation do you have? They won't even test for these things. So I call that silo healthcare. And there's a time and place occasionally for that, but we are not automobiles. And you usually take your automobile in, and the one thing that is wrong is the one thing that's wrong. In the human body, everything is connected to everything. And most people ignore most of the everything. And holistic means bringing in all of the conversations into one place.
Well, one of the questions I was like, well, Katie, you go, and then I'm going to follow up, and then we'll get into some of the really detailed questions.
So I think that was a pretty comprehensive explanation for the way that I see holistic health as well. I like the term root cause approach. So we're looking at what is the foundational approach to get to the bottom of a symptom? So, we experience symptoms in life, whether that be headaches, migraines, bad menstrual cramps, maybe you have, brain fog. But the way traditional medicine and allopathic medicine would treat that is, okay, let's throw a Tylenol at it. Maybe let's put you on a birth control pill for your cycles that are irregular. But what's the cause of the irregular cycles? What's the cause of the migraines? What's the cause? And again, we're not treating and diagnosing, but we go down to see, okay, every time the weather changes outside, because this person's, very sensitive to humidity, sensitive to a weather change, they get a migraine. Okay, what does that mean? So let's look deeper into, maybe they need an antihistamine. Maybe the migraine was actually due to allergies and it wasn't due to a deficiency in Tylenol or a deficiency in an NSAID. So it's a root cause approach. It's asking a lot of questions to get down to a place to start and actually make a change at a deep level within the body.
Yeah, and you guys have both spent your whole lives, or most of your lives, your whole life, Katie,
Mm-hmm.
most of Ed's life, doing this. And I think that's one of the things I've taken away, especially as I've co-hosted Vital Health Radio, which is part of Whitfield Media and Nutrition World, is that so many times we have gotten accustomed to Band-Aid approaches. I need the pill. We're the microwave society. I need the immediate fix.
Mm-hmm.
And it may fix it for a minute. It'll at least take away the perception that it'll give me the perception it's been fixed.
Right.
I live in the illusion that, my knees don't hurt anymore, or my headache's gone, or whatever it is, I'm fixed. And in reality, all I've done is created the cycle of, in 2 weeks or 2 months or in 6 months, I'll be right back with the same pain because I never figured out why in the heck it was hurting to begin with.
Exactly. Or even a worsened pain as you age, or a worsened as time goes on. You Band-Aid it for so long and it comes back horribly over the years.
Well, in my world, I'll just use something that's a little a perfect example, and then I've got some specific questions. And by the way, this is very casual, so you can just jump in with topics or ideas if this leads to somewhere. But for instance, if I take pain medicine right now for a bad hip, it'll cover that up.
Mm-hmm.
But now my back's hurting.
Yep.
And so now I'm having to figure out my back for my hip. And if I do the same with my back, then all of a sudden my neck's going to start hurting because, again, I've masked one thing in the perception of it being fixed, and my body goes, great. Now the rest of the thing that you have is having to compensate for the dumb decision of
absolutely
masking it up.
Yeah.
And you both have spent your life, and y'all spend a lot of time on the floor with people at Nutrition World. This is basically what you do. So this is a good approach. Maybe it'll give some time for questions to pop up. How many times do people walk in and say things like, I need a supplement? And how often do you actually give them the supplement without asking questions?
At Nutrition World, if they have a piece of paper and they say, I am out of something, we go directly and pick it up, hand it to them, and they purchase it. But if they're in the inquisitive mode or the learning mode, we usually prod for more questions in order to find the right answer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason I said that is I've experienced that myself. I've come in, I need something. And you go, what do you mean by need?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, well, I've heard. And I go, well, okay. Then they start asking me these questions, and I realize I don't need that. I might need something else. Or
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Alicia, one of our employees the other day, was speaking about someone came in for heart health, looking for something to support their heart and their cardiovascular system. And they had heard through, something trending or a social media post, not ours, but somewhere on the internet, that NMN was going to be the answer. Well, that does nothing for cardiovascular health and cardiovascular support in the way they were looking for it. So what we do on the floor is we ask enough questions to make sure what they're asking for is hopefully the remedy that they're needing. But again, if they're sending from a doctor, they're sending, they know what they need, we'll point them right to it.
All right. So let's get into a few questions I have. Like I said, I had 5 that were sent to me beforehand. I'm just going to go down no order. I told these folks I wouldn't give their name if they didn't want me to. Collagen. I don't know who wants to take these questions, but this is how this works. Let's talk about collagen, and then you guys can add and subtract from each other as you see fit. Is it different in men and women? Which should you take it? What's the best form? Is there times? All the stuff collagen, and what in the hell does it do?
Mm-hmm. So I like to look back at the way we used to exist as humans, and we used to exist in the way that we would eat. And one of those things that we would eat was nose to tail of animals. We were way big on eating the entire part of a cow. So the entire part of fish. We ate all of it. And in doing so, we received natural forms of collagen. Mm-hmm. Over the years, when we started getting into just eating ground beef or just eating a steak, we stopped eating the nose to tail aspect and we started getting a lot less collagen in our diet. Okay. So collagen in essence is found in meats. It's found in fish. That's kind of the 2 biggest sources. And it's literally this type of protein that goes in and it helps to repair things. So it helps to repair muscles, tissues, your GI tract. It's a primary building block to repair within the body. Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. So if we're lacking something that's made to create a repair within the body, we're not going to be able to digest as optimally. Our joints won't function as optimally. Wear and tear in the gym is going to be a little bit harder because we haven't repaired quite as well as we should. You also are born with collagen naturally, and you start to lose it after the age of about 21 to 25. You start decreasing 1% in your own natural production of collagen. So that's why a baby's skin is so beautiful and plush and just edible.
You mean
it's
like
just
mine?
so
I got you.
cute.
It's
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
It looks
like
just like
cleanse.
me.
Yeah,
Not-
not quite like my babies, but and so collagen. That's why you also don't have the joint issues as much. You may not have the digestive issues as much when you're in the prime of your collagen. So there are many different types of collagen. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 10, 11 different types of collagen. And so each one's going to function a little bit differently, but in essence, it is repair work for the body.
Okay, but I take one through, I'm going to get this wrong. This is why you're here. HD? I can't remember. It's got
Health Direct.
Yeah, it's the white bottle, and let's take the strawberry banana. My question is, it's the liquid form. Is one form better than the other? And is there a generic one or one that covers more of the gamut? Because you said there's a bunch of them. Yes or no?
Well, there is the main conversation of collagen, which most brands will contain the one that's the primary, but there's so many secondary. The one you take is Health Direct. It doesn't taste great by any means, but it's the one I used when I had my double hip replacement, because I realized it's one of the few collagens that actually has hospital studies on it with patients. One of the studies, or one of the big data points on that particular one, was how it kept cancer patients who are wasting away. It actually could extend their life extensively because they weren't wasting when they were on the collagen anywhere near as fast. But secondly, I came back to work within about 8 to 9 days. I truly believe with double hip replacement, the collagen was the number one thing that allowed my collagen to rebuild and put together the sturdy gird of what we have to support every function, or every skeletal function within the human body.
Is the liquid form the best? Powder? Does it matter? Does it not matter? And just time of day? And then we'll move on to the next question.
Yeah, I'd say liquid or powder, because powder is going to turn into liquid once you mix it with the water. So either one, it's going to be a liquid form. And that Health Direct one you mentioned, it actually has 28 types of collagen. It's the most amount of collagen found in any single collagen product.
I'm doing something right.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
And it's used in burn victim wards of the hospital because it helps with skin tissue regrowth for burn victims.
Okay. The next one I had, creatine. Now, I've done specials on 18 to 80, just deep dives on creatine. Me and you have sat down with Matt Davis and Josh and other folks. But in a nutshell, because we're going to run through a lot of these questions kind of fast, what is creatine? What is its main 2 or 3 functions? What's it good for that may surprise us? And then, is there a difference between how we should look at it when it comes to men versus women, or is it just generic across the board?
I've been looking into and selling and using off and on creatine for, I will guess, about 29 to 30 years. I'm not sure if we had it before that time. And there's been about probably 22 of those 30 years, it was completely negative comments from the traditional models of health. It could hurt your kidneys. It can do this. It can give you cramps. You can blank, blank, blank. All that has been proven to be relatively untrue, one. So it's extremely safe. Why would we want to use it? Is because it helps cognitive function, which we now know, especially during sleep
deprivation. And that's a surprise, too.
What's a surprise?
I was taking it when I was younger for muscle recovery, and it's going to make you strong. I had no clue of the cognitive stuff.
We actually didn't know that. Now, it may take a little bit more dosage, but they did a study on the military and found sleep-deprived military performed better when they were on collagen than when they weren't. And
you mean creatine?
Creatine. Yeah. There is so many studies you can't rely on because they have agendas, or they were set up to either fail or success to do something else. But I'm pretty darn good at weeding out those kind. This was a real study. Secondly, creatine is found in a lot in red meat. If you eat a modest amount, you'll get 2 to 3 to 4 grams of creatine. I do 10 grams a day. I do it with my protein drink in the morning. Why do I do it? It gives me more stamina and strength in the gym, but it also gives you more stamina and strength cutting your yard, carrying your grandkids, going to the airport and hauling suitcases.
So it's not just for muscle meatheads.
Not at all. Okay. And we do know that the number 1 and number 2 metric for shortening our life or quicker mortality is the loss of lung function, which is VO2 max. The second is strength. As the more strength we lose, the quicker we will die, or if we don't, the quality of our life will die. And so number 2 function that we need to practice is keeping our strength. We're losing 1 to 2% per year. And when you are a couch potato like you are, you lose about 3 or 4%.
Yeah, but I'm a pretty good couch potato. Let's not
So
get that
we
out of the
need
way.
to
Yeah.
do creatine. I don't care who you are. If you're 40 plus or if you're under and you're working out, you need it. But if you're 40 plus, you need to do it.
All right, well, women. Is there a one of the, and I'll give my Jennifer complete credit on this. We were talking about creatine one day, and she goes, most of the studies that they do are on men. And it does have benefits for women too. Do you want to address, somebody else want to address
so
that
the
part?
same benefits that Ed just said are going to be true for women. And honestly, if you think about it, women generally eat less meat than men. So they're probably getting less creatine overall from a food source. So it's even more important, I think, that they are intentional about supplementing with it. And we know that I just love talking about moms and babies. And one of the essential things found in the womb and in the placenta specifically is creatine. So it's necessary for the nutrients to get into the baby, and the mom has to have enough within her own system to give that to the baby. So I'm not an OBGYN, and I'm not saying to just go and source, creatine right now for yourself, but I will say I took it during my pregnancy. And if you're not pregnant or you're just a woman that needs a bit more energy, mental stamina, I'm a huge fan of creatine.
And I will say too, one thing I learned on that conversation we had on 1880, the shorter one, the deep dive, was the dosage matters. Because if I get above a certain dosage, it hurts my stomach a little bit. So I had to break it up into 2 doses, one in the morning, maybe 5 to 10, and then another one in the evening from about 5-ish, because I was going to be like Matt.
Yeah.
I'm going to take 22. Yeah. And my stomach went, no, you're not.
No.
You're not going to take that much. So, and I think you had to test this on yourself a little bit too.
Yeah, I had some dirty underwear based on the fact I was doing 20 grams of protein.
Ladies and gentlemen, that'll be recorded in perpetuity. Yes.
It was not
we're always on the camera, everybody. So her face got
I knew it was colon cancer. I knew I was going to be dead within months. And I realized, oh gosh, I'm doing 20 grams of creatine instead of 10. And guess what? I healed overnight with 10 grams instead of 20.
That's perfect.
My colon cancer immediately went away.
So, yeah, he's not colon cancer. It's just I'm going to skip this next one. I might pull it in last. I want to get to this one. This is very generic. Guy said, "Hey, I'm in my mid-30s. I'm in pretty good shape. I take a daily vitamin. Are there other supplements I should consider?" And if I get through this question without one of you two mentioning the thing that I've written down, I'm going to be really surprised.
No, it's going to be mentioned very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
In my life,
hold on, let's see. Go ahead. What is
it's called the Core 4.
Okay. All
yes.
right. Okay.
And the reason that we call it that is, and the people in my field who really are on their game all agree 100%, including Katie. I have looked and tried to connect the dots when I've seen tens of thousands of people over 47 years. And a lot of them tell me their entire story of sometimes of their life, their history, their foods, their health. I watch them go from healthy to death sometimes. I watch them go from very unhealthy back to health. And I kept looking at the store at Nutrition World. We have 7,000 or 8,000 different products. How in the world would you decide with a puzzle like that with that many choices? And I knew there had to be some basic foundation that applies to 92% of everybody. And so when looking at the improvement of blood work, looking at symptoms, looking at age, watching them not for months, but for a decade, it comes down to 4 things. A proper multivitamin that will serve about 100 of your physiological needs to make the chemistry healthier, optimally healthier. Second, omega-3. That is fish oil. Don't do it with flax. We want to do it with high quality, no mercury, heavily tested fish oils. Magnesium and vitamin D. Those are 4 of what we call the core 4. It's easy to do those. It doesn't take that many pills. I take still about 65 pills a day. No one needs to do that. I'm a guinea pig. I love doing it. I would be sad if I didn't take my pills. They're my little angels. They're my guardians, and they carry me through the day and the night. And, you go to church, I go to my pill bag, okay?
I'm just laughing.
Look at that. Well, you want to add anything to that tape? Because you said one of the things I thought you would say, but you didn't actually say the one thing I wrote down here.
Oh, really?
It's blood work.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't think I've had a conversation this long with either one of you in the last 3 or 4 years where I've not said, how about this? And one of you, well, we need to know where you're starting on blood work. So add to is there something this guy should be considering? And then one of you pick up the mantle of how important blood work is, because I think it should begin with blood work.
Sure. So let me add one more thing that I think I would add to the core four concept would be I am obsessed with mitochondrial function. So if we think about when we're born and when we're little, all of our cells contain this little powerhouse that we remember from when we were growing up in high school, this ATP cellular energy that's going to be found within every cell. As we get hit with more toxins and as we age and as we sleep, worse, and as stress comes in our life and more sickness, those little cells that are producing this cellular energy ATP take a hit and they essentially stop giving you as much energy as you had in your 20s.
Okay.
So I love to give people mitochondrial support. So whether that be CoQ10 or that's been around the longest, we naturally produce CoQ10. Our heart requires CoQ10. If you're on a statin, you're depleting your CoQ10, yet it's very necessary that you replenish with CoQ10. So something like CoQ10, something like Shilajit, that's kind of been more of a trending topic in the last couple of years. Shilajit, no, it's like a resin from a tree or a resin from the earth. And so like almost like a thick maple syrup kind of resin. And it contains something called humic and fulvic acids. And those actually go in and help your mitochondrial function. They can help testosterone levels within men. They can help with cellular energy. So this, I guess it's a root cause approach to energy within your body. It's looking at the cells and seeing how we can kind of fire them off in a better way. Or lastly, there's a product that I am obsessed with called BC-ATP. It's by the brand Cellcore, and it, again, is looking at cellular energy. So for any 30-year-old that's like running at life and wanting to show up with more energy and not looking to grab the next, Celsius energy drink or Monster.
Is that sitting over? Oh, there's a Celsius.
Hold on a second. Let me put this under So I'm just curious what your take is on it.
Right.
My bad.
But yes, core 4 to start, and then something for mitochondrial support. Okay. And then going back to blood work, I'm not obsessed with thinking you need to start blood work before you start on a core set of vitamins. No, I think you can start on the core set of vitamins because you're not going to get enough from your food, and we know that. But if you were to look at maybe hormone levels, or you're going to take a high dose of vitamin D and you need to know over time how's the high dose running you, then get your vitamin D checked. And then there's things that Ed could talk about that I think are more important than nutrient levels. It's more about inflammatory levels. It's proteins within the body that could be running a little bit high to cause inflammatory responses. So he could kind of speak on those. But I think a core 4 could be started before blood work.
And take blood work and I'm getting 3 or 4 questions here already, but I want to make sure, one of the things Nutrition World does, and I do not want to get sidetracked on this because this is we limited time. You offer coaching and one-on-one. You've got so many people that can help you with, from fitness to weight loss to eating disorders to gut health to toxins, all these things. You've got people there that can help you, and you've been doing it a long time. You read blood work as well as most physicians that I know. That is something you offer. The importance of blood work for you in a nutshell, sir.
One is we're not reading it all to diagnose anything
Nope.
or treat. What we're doing is trying to find how do we get to optimal levels. Mm-hmm. That is totally 100% different. You need your physician to check out if you're diseased and you have health disorders. But you can order blood work on your own. You don't have to go to anyone. We work close with a lab down the road from us, Be Well Labs, and the websites begin with labs.com. But you can go anywhere to any walk-in lab, and you don't get the regular CBC, CMP. That's what you'll get at a physical. Those are worth about $60 to truly get a crystal ball of where are you and make changes to see where you're going to go with your health. It's going to be about a $500 package in order to cover every single aspect. Like Katie said, we got to check inflammation levels. Those are imperative to slow down as we age. Chronic inflammation is at the root of most diseases, and it also at the root, a lot of it, of mitochondrial dysfunction. So you have to take it upon yourself to do this. And actually, Be Well has a physician's assistant named Chris Lazou, mm-hmm. and he also can look at those. If there's health disorders going on, that's the person who would look at that.
Mm-hmm. I have a couple of here that I've written. I want to get to if we got time. Do y'all have some more time for me real quick? These are the ones I've already asked, but I've gotten several while we're here texting. People are watching, but maybe they can't actually do it while they're at work. Let me see which one I want. First of all, how much fiber is too much fiber? Is there such a thing? How do you do that?
I have waffled on the conversation of fiber back and forth for 47 years. I used to think that we needed a tremendous amount of fiber, and I was using a lot of the organic psyllium. Please understand, psyllium is a great fiber. It is slightly addictive, so that means if you use it and you quit, you probably won't go to the bathroom very well. I like other fibers, like Vital Planet makes a non-psyllium.
I actually take.
I love that one.
That's right, and it isn't addictive, doesn't give you gas. Now, psyllium, if you're going to do Metamucil, which is psyllium, you got to know that all psyllium is full of a lot of chemicals and pesticides because of the way they spray it. You have to get organic. We do carry organic. I'm sure Whole Foods does. I don't know. But, we do need some fiber. Why? I used to think it was to have a big poop. It's actually, that's secondary. The biggest thing is it feeds the microbiome.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that the microbiome generally is fed on is fiber. And as much as I loved Adam, who was at the store all the time, one of the smartest guys around, he didn't believe that we needed any fiber. I believe I still need fiber to feed the microbiome, and it does help my regularity in most cases. So using Vital Planet's the one I would do, not psyllium.
That's the one I take.
Yep.
Let's hit these really quick. I'm gonna go to this person next because I haven't asked one. They've sent two. Does it matter when I eat protein before or after I work out to get more gains? Anybody want to jump in on protein?
Slight studies somewhat say that we always need to supply at least 25 grams after a workout within 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to still believe that. I think it's old school, but it's also been verified on.
Just because it's old doesn't mean it's
That's
not
right.
valuable.
And we have a humongous debt after a hard workout. The body is trying desperately to rebuild the damage from a workout, and we need that protein.
Is that a good time to take the creatine too then, after or
Perfectly
before?
fine. Now, I don't do it that way. I do 50 grams of protein at 2:45 in the morning, and then I'll do another when I get to the store.
Do you supplement with proteins at all?
Oh, yeah. I'm huge into protein. I
Okay.
do 3 protein shakes a day.
She steals mine all the time.
I'm obsessed. Yeah. I do whey and beef protein. So I wake up and I do about 40 grams of protein through a protein drink. I do one after lunch when we eat lunch when I'm here, and then I do one before bed at nighttime.
Keeps you full too.
Oh, energy levels, it keeps me full. I so go back to energy levels because I just feel like they're so important in life. Protein is one of my critical ways to have lasting energy all day long.
And if you don't know, but if you looked at her hair when she was in her 20s, it was pretty thinning.
It was
now after her 8th child, she thinks it's actually 3, but she thinks it's thinning now.
Like it.
Yeah, she thinks it's thinning, and it might be. But the change in her diet
it doesn't. It just
the change in her diet from bagels and peanut butter, and she didn't eat bad, but that a lot of her diet was carbohydrate based.
Very
This is what happens when you eat bad. I lost all mine too, so I can feel it.
I need sunglasses next time I come in. It's really
It's so shiny. It is shiny today.
I can actually get on it. Look at that. I can, like Rudolph's nose. I can blind you with it. This is probably more to you, Katie. Let me read this. Get this right here. What are supplements specific to women that are overlooked or not talked about that are beneficial? And both of y'all can answer this, but let's let you kind of take the lead if you want to give it some thought. I can ask another question to Ed if you want to give that some thought first. It's up to you.
I mean, I go back to the core 4 concept. It's needed for women and for men. I know the
real
first.
Quick, name the real fast the core 4.
Yeah, the core 4 is going to be multivitamin. It's going to be omega-3, magnesium, and vitamin D with a K in the vitamin D. So it's those four big nutrients.
Okay.
To me, that's every human should be taking that core 4. Now, specific to women, I'm very specific with like the time of life that they're in. So there's perimenopausal, menopausal,
Let's say they're in their mid 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
Anything that you would
I actually have one. So one that comes to mind first of all would be a product called EstroSense. It's made by the brand Natural Factors. I was trained by an OBGYN that actually worked for this company, and she said that she would suggest from the time a woman starts her cycle around 10, 11, 12 years old to the time that they die, every woman should be on this product. And the reason for that would be that we are hit with xenoestrogens and estrogens and fake plastics that mimic our endocrine system and our own body's hormones. We're hit with them all the time. Everything we're drinking, touching things. And so our liver is having to filter that out. This product helps to move some of those fake estrogens out, which what that will result in is hopefully a smoother cycle.
Name that product one more time.
EstroSense. And it is not giving you estrogen. It is a balancing product.
Okay.
So that would be my go-to for that age.
You want to add anything to that one, Ed? Do you want to add something to the question specific to women? And I'm not being facetious.
The studies on the nurses study that pretty much devastated the entire country, I don't know, 20, 15, 18 years ago, that said hormones were killing women, causing breast cancer. Again, it leads itself to conclusions when you see this of, should we truly 100% trust what we see in the news media and or our physicians? No, we need to question them, because that study now has been completely negated. If you talk to Optimize You, Josh Porter, Laura, and anybody, it is now says that women who didn't have hormones are suffering because they didn't balance their hormones. You can balance hormones from the green pharmacy. You can balance it from the normal pharmacy, and that comes down to your choice. So what I say is, sometimes the biggest risky thing we can do is nothing. Father Time is one of the most cruel to our life of any enemy you've ever known. And it's not really an enemy; it's a fact of life, and we have to come to peace with it. But I don't want to lie down and just let it run over me. So our only job on this earth through Mother Nature is to be reproductive. Once we're through that stage, can be dismissed.
Yeah, Father Time and Mother Nature undefeated, and they're done with us at that point.
They're done.
Like, okay,
we're fortunate we get past it at all. Yeah. Actually,
you want to add anything, Katie, before I bring up anything else? You good?
No, I think that's a good topic. And like I said, make sure the female's getting enough protein. Going back to that, I just think women naturally tend to eat less meat. You know, you think about it, they fill their plate more carb heavy, and then you wonder why middle weight comes on. They start getting a little bit of hormone dysfunction. They have the less energy. Just please do not fear protein and be more protein heavy.
The minimum protein for a woman is 1/2 gram per pound of body weight. Yeah. Minimum.
Men are a pound. Right?
If you weigh 260 like Katie, you need, 140 like Katie.
Dang.
Well, those new bakery products we have at the store.
I can't quit eating them. You can't quit either.
They're homemade.
I just want y'all
blueberry sourdough scones.
Listen, are they healthy?
It's questionable. The ingredients are phenomenal. So what I mean by that is,
I buy it there, so in my brain, I don't count those calories.
But you're a glutton, and so you're eating too much. It switches it to healthy to unhealthy, okay?
The ingredients are phenomenal, but I don't think you need to just eat baked goods all the time for your health.
No, but here's the thing. I think y'all look like Jocko Willink compared to me, because they'll go like, I've had one of the scones, I'm going to leave the other one in the box. I'm like, that's communism. There's two scones, and they're both beautiful.
No, you can do like us, and you eat all the way through and leave one bite.
And then you can say,
that's what we do.
That's right. And then I'll leave it on my desk.
Yeah, same.
Throw away.
Well, the other one I found was the organic pumpkin seeds that are beautiful. They got they got fiber, they got protein. They're great on the fats. But I've been eating them.
They're
healthy.
Funnel.
Yeah, they're pretty healthy.
You're gonna have parasites come out.
Stop it?
What's the name of the bakery? What's the name of the bakery?
Sodo.
Yeah.
And it's Nika, a local lady. They're delicious. So she started baking during COVID and baking sourdough. And so she has a whole line of products that are stored.
I want to get her on Vital Health Radio.
Yeah, we need to.
Let's do this. Before I get back to the text, I got 3 more text questions, and I know we are up against the window, so I apologize, but I want to get this one in. Are there any trends, whether it's a air quote, like a red light therapy or ice bath, any trends, supplements, vitamins that are on the horizon that you like and like, that's got some promise, and one that you don't like?
She's got one I know. The one right now, which came, it tended to go dim and now it's come back, is hydrogen water. I am now getting way excited about using hydrogen water every day. It's the most effective antioxidant because it can pick and choose. It can donate electrons to the cells that need it. Mitochondrial function, which is key. It supports it probably better than almost anything other than maybe Q10 and a few things. And we are going to be carrying the one that Gary Brecka talked about 2 years ago, a unit. It's going to cost about $300. You pour water in it every day and you drink it. It bubbles. You can see the hydrogen getting into it. It takes 10 minutes and then you drink that water.
Okay. And is Gary Brecka the ultimate, whatever he says, is he the ultimate human? What is the guy? Isn't that he the one that says I'm the ultimate human? Gary Brecka?
Is that Brian Johnson?
No, Gary Brecka. That's when Matt Davis went.
Yes.
Matt Davis, our buddy, had one. He challenged. He goes, that offended me, and I'm like, I actually cut that out and made it a short podcast. That's one of the most motivational things I ever heard. He's like, he just went off on that little mini rant. I'm like, attaboy, Matt, go get him.
Well, he's not my hero, but
still got good stuff.
He still can have some wisdom in places.
Yeah,
yes.
Mm-hmm. What's your trend?
The sauna. Obsessed.
She has always been.
Always.
I was going to say that's not a trend. I mean,
it is absolutely a trend now.
It's come back again.
It really has. So there are integrative and functional medicine doctors that say the only way to have true health and longevity is to sweat within a sauna because we have to purge the amount of toxins.
Is it a red light sauna? Does it matter?
I mean, that would be the best of the best.
Okay.
It'd be like anything. There's levels of, of quality and levels of how deep are the toxins going to be able to get out of your body.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it will eventually come to the fact that everyone will have either a sauna at their home or there'll be sauna more membership places. We already have saunas at gyms, but more regularly use of the sauna to sweat out what we don't need.
In Finland, everyone does it.
Everyone.
Every single person
Yes.
does it.
Is there a trend right now you don't like? Or is there a trend? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes,
one that I used to say, I think that makes a lot of sense that I don't particularly like is too strict of intermittent fasting. Why? Because you lose muscle mass. You cannot get enough protein in a 7-hour window. You simply can't. You can't digest it, even if you put it in. So you want to do that, I suggest maybe a 1 day a weeker. Don't do it more than that. And I think you should do like Cady does. If you're doing that for detox, just do a sauna.
Mm-hmm.
It's far more effective and you don't lose muscle tissue.
Yeah.
Do you have favorite breakfast foods?
I get eggs from our store and I get our sausage because we carry so many of those great clean meats. And 2 days a week, I will do that. And I have began cooking some sourdough biscuits myself. I took to Cady's house. I let my grandboys, and we cooked it all just a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my two special mornings. Other than that is 50 grams of protein with my creatine, my fiber, and my matcha powder every single day.
Me too.
All right, I want to ask this question as we got about another few minutes left. This is strictly, now you can contribute, but it's strictly for mamas. I've got friends out there who, of course, younger than me. They're actually, like friends of my kids, but they have kids now. They have kids that are anywhere from a couple of months old to 5 or 6 years old and older. But you have 3 kids ranging from 1 day to what? How long?
So 6 months old to 6.5 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one there in the middle. That's in the middle.
Exactly.
Kid.
4.5.
So any overall advice for a mom? And this is really hard to give advice because every mom's specific, every child's needs are specific, but there are some things I think you've probably learned, foundational things to watch this, ask these questions, look at this. Is there something you would say to those new moms?
Yeah, there's so much. Let me collect my thoughts real quick.
Yeah. It's okay.
First of all, let me throw it. Make sure you mention Dr. Green Mom.
Oh, that's what I was going to.
Good.
Yeah. From an outside perspective, just a word of wisdom would be most things are all temporary. So please do not read into everything. That would be the advice I would give myself
as
a mom.
Isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I do follow it now. I did not follow it with my firstborn. Everything felt like I had to get it right. I was going to make a mistake. You're going to break them. It's not going to be right. And it's just not the case. You're doing your absolute best. So I'd like to give that advice. But from a holistic standpoint, or more of like a functional medicine standpoint, there is a line of tinctures, which are herbal medicine that I'm in love with, that we carry at our store. It's made by a pediatrician and it's called Dr. Green Mom. And she is a pediatrician that still sees clients and still sees kids and patients. I think you can actually meet with her virtually online, but nonetheless, we sell her line in our store, and it's going to be like a tincture it's called Nature's Biotic. So it's going to be immune boosting herbs to help if there's a bacteria or a virus going on. We have a bronchial product. We have her high dose vitamin A for a virus that could be going around your house. We have her, we have probably about 15 remedies by her. Now, here's why I love it. And this is what I would say if you're a new mom. She doses it all by weight. So it's going to be very easy for you to understand whether you have a child that's 5 months old or 6 years old, like my child, their weight. So you literally dose by weight. And what I do is I mix it either in a little juice if they're really small, or honey if they're over the age of 1. And I literally give it to them in a little medicine shooter, and they love it. They have no problem taking it. And so I do that for prevention if another sibling is sick within the house, or I do it as a remedy if they are actively sick. So like I said, she even makes an ear oil that can go directly into the ear if there's an earache going on. There's truly almost a remedy for most viral or bacterial infections. And again, we are not treating and diagnosing. There are times if there's strep or there's something else, I would urge you to go on and get a strep test and see a doctor in those arenas for that. But for a common cold, a common virus, these are wonderful.
And her Instagram is so educational.
Yes.
Well, don't you have a page too?
I do. I'm not as active after all the things that I'm doing, but
that's okay.
Earth Conscious Mama is my Facebook page, and it does have a lot of good older posts that I wrote on there.
I
It
forgot
does.
all about that.
I
Now,
know.
what's the name of your
Podcast
with Amber?
Oh yeah, so Amber and I, the
love the name.
nutritionist at our
Yeah.
store, it's Am I Weird?
Well, tell them the genesis behind that, because I think it's
So Amber and I have had a strange and bizarre health journey, and yet at its essence, we are healthy, but we have odd symptoms and scenarios that come up due to mold exposure. And so we like to talk about mold exposure. We like to talk about Lyme. We like to talk about weird symptoms that can occur. So the whole idea behind it is, am I weird for thinking that this hurts? Am I weird that I have this brain fog
but
today?
they're not all about mold and Lyme. There's other things y'all are going to.
Well, part of it has to be about their hypochondria.
Oh, yeah.
It's
a little
not
bit.
hypochondria.
It's 30%. I mean, 75%
This is why
real.
I want to get them in the
It's
room
not.
together. Well, but I mean,
Real.
the question is, am I weird? Resonates through everybody.
It does.
At some point in time,
Right.
you're going to be like, man, I've got this little thing here.
Is that weird?
And
Right.
you Google it and you go, I died 3 days ago. I didn't know I
Right.
died. Wait, and you're like, am I weird for being this weird?
Exactly.
Hey,
right.
I've
So we
seen
want to
you-
be relatable.
I've seen you overreact a couple times at Vital Health when we had a doctor and we were interviewing and they were talking about something and you brought it up. And
I'm
said,
like, hey,
hey, look at this. What do you think about this?
I'm scared. Yeah, my grandfather got. That's how. That was his thing. So skin stuff is like,
Right.
I just ignore it now.
Mm.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Yeah, I'm just like, never mind.
Oh, really?
And that's always a great way.
Yeah.
It's a good way. That way, you know,
I'm
thought-
more like that. The more kids I've had, I'm like, I don't have time for that. So it's
No,
just going to
just
need to
don't have
go away.
time.
death, you'll have
It's
to
just
wait.
need to go
You'll
away.
have to
Well,
wait
Katie
for a while.
has definitely had
Yeah.
a lot of mold issues, and it was significant. Long story that
Yeah.
you can listen to on that podcast. But it's how amazing how much she can manage it. A lot of health is managing. We don't always fix everything. So I love to manage with the Green Pharmacy.
All right. I've got a couple things personally we're going to do, and we're going to wrap it up with some rapid fire. That means you can start, but try to keep it within 30 seconds to a minute each. And then we're just going to go through 3 or 4 of these and we'll be done. Methylene blue. What is it? Is it good? Do you take it? When do you take it? All the things,
Mhm.
the meats in the table.
I love that molecule because it's the first drug ever invented in 1876. It was used to treat malaria, and it had been found to treat cyanide poisoning. It's found in the emergency room still for cyanide poisoning. It donates electrons into the mitochondrial function. It also can be used as an antibacterial for people who are educated enough to do it. And again, if they're have a disease, to check with your doctor. But smaller amounts, between 15 and 60 milligrams, I feel comfortable on a personal level. If I get under the weather, I will do 60 milligrams for a few days. If I'm doing preventatively, which is very good to help lower anxiousness within myself. I'm not an anxious person, but we all have our ups and downs. I just do 15 milligrams. One pill, urine will be blue.
Okay. Do you take it?
I don't take it regularly, but especially with pregnancy or breastfeeding, I don't. But I will say when I'm not pregnant or breastfeeding, I love it for urinary tract issues. So that's what I'm going to throw out there. If someone has had burning, or they've had urinary tract infection, or they've had something that has been a little bit irritating in the urinary tract, again, not treating that, but that has been very helpful in my life.
All right. Before we go to my little list, we forgot to bring up one thing about moms and babies. Also, they should look at formula for you.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
about that.
Please.
I'm surprised we didn't go down
Yeah.
that 30-minute rabbit hole.
I know. I could
But
do
that
that.
is that is something they should research. Call
Yep.
the store and
Yep.
say, hey, I'd like to get
Call
more
and ask
information.
for me, call and email me. It's, CADY@nutritionw.com. Email me anytime. I'm happy to chat on that. But that's, primarily that's the only food the baby's receiving. Obviously, this is controversial, but I'm just going to say it. Breast milk is best. And we all get our feelings hurt when people make truth statements, but that is true. If you can't breastfeed, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But then
Part
you
of-
go to the best next option, which is the best formula made from goat's milk.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
and you can call and get more details.
Exactly. And we
All
have
right,
it at
back
our
to
store.
the fast mushrooms. Good, bad, what kind, when, yes, no.
It's risen on my list of important from tier 10 to tier 2. I use it every single day. It supports the immune system in a way that no other plant can do that. It modulates the immune system. That means if it's too overactive, it brings it to normal. If it's too underactive, it brings it to normal. That's the kind of green pharmacy magic that we need. It has been proven even from the Egyptian days that mushrooms have been highly respected. They are nature's medicine.
I love them.
Do you?
I love them.
I mean,
Good
and
for
the thing is,
detoxing too, right? Detoxing.
well,
not
there's
really.
so many mushrooms. No, not really. There's
Okay,
so
that's
many
okay.
mushrooms that
Well,
have
that's-
different purposes. Like
Yeah.
cordyceps, I will do if I can't breathe right or I'm wanting to do endurance events. Like when I did the 306 chin-ups, I took four of those cordyceps.
He was standing on a stool when he did that, though. Don't let it.
I have the video to prove it.
Or if you're going in a high altitude area, cordyceps.
Bingo. Always have told people who are going to high altitude to be doing cordyceps 2 to 3 times a day.
Like hikers and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
I did
Colorado,
I
a
climbed
different
2 of the
elevation.
14ers in Colorado. I don't think I would have done it without cordyceps.
How about NAC? Should you use it every day or only when sick?
I love NAC personally. So it's going to protect the liver. It's going to, the liver is constantly working. It's constantly working with our food, our water, or if you're on any drug, it's working all the time. So it supports the liver, and then it also supports your body to create more glutathione, which glutathione is your natural way to detox. So you're in essence, you're detoxing every day through the use of NAC. So I'm a huge
It's good
fan.
for your lungs too, right?
Yes,
it helps
lungs and
within
liver.
the mucus, and also glutathione is the master detoxifier. Guess what decreases at the absolute most is Tylenol. Nothing once every few weeks is not going to hurt you, but if you're a regular user of it, it is going to decrease your health.
How about NAD? These get confused a lot. NAD, do you take it every day? Do you wait and take it as needed?
NAD is an interesting anti-aging compound. It has to do with how do we eliminate senescent cells and how do we do all these things where we can get rid of. It's kind of like the tires on your car that has 300,000 miles on it. They're about to be worn out. So what do we do if we really can handle things? We remove those tires, throw them away.
As much straight as my head, but go ahead.
We remove those tires. We put new ones on. Well, the body has a hard time doing that when we get older, especially like me at 60, almost 69. So NAD can help to remove some of those old tires of clicks.
Do you take NAD? If not, we'll
No,
go to the next
I don't.
Okay.
No.
Now, she is breastfeeding, so she's very cautious about some things, even though she took so much more on the third child than she ever did on first.
Well, because it comes with education and research.
Exactly.
Right?
And more
experience.
comfortable. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Now, I want to run through, I've got the last question I'm going to ask. I know y'all going to want to spend some time on this. So real quick, thumbs up to either Manuka honey or local honey that you guys sell. You sell Manuka. It's a different kind of honey. You also sell honey that's locally from here. Can y'all just tell me the difference between the two, when you should, when you shouldn't? And then I've got the last one, I promise. You guys have been really good with your time. Thank you.
I will talk of Manuka, and Cady can talk about the other.
Okay.
Manuka is a nature's medicine. I never use Manuka unless I'm under the weather. I have seen miracles with Manuka and how it can heal. I had photos 5 days ago of this gentleman who's 88 years old who had the worst leg ulcer. I mean, he was going to probably lose his leg. And Sawyer J, I saw it on his site. It was his dad. And he put Manuka on there. Well, I mean, within 10 days, it was revolutionary how it healed. Now, Manuka can only be grown in one country, I think New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah.
And if you
take it every day.
If you Google the Holistic Navigator Manuka, I interviewed the owner of the farm that we have their Manuka. I do not trust all Manukas. So if you want an emergency kit to keep at home, I put my Manuka in the refrigerator so it'll last me years. But I had some canker sores. I put them in there. It doesn't matter what I have. I will do Manuka.
So I'm thinking about getting a new bottle of it, put in the refrigerator, and I may start doing this switch back to you for local honey. I may start using the local honey that's from here locally in my coffee instead of Manuka, and using Manuka when I get sick. I may start.
That's what I would do
for the money, because it is expensive.
It is.
So local, I like more for allergies. I like for, histamine response. So looking a little bit more in the immune system. Local is just going to be an alternative to me for a table sugar, or it's going to be an alternative to something sweet.
Right.
So it's a better option than you pouring sugar or sucralose or something in, and then it's going to have a little bit of allergy benefits, but it's not true medicinal value the way that Manuka is.
I think I'm going to make that switch next week when I have to buy some new
just
products.
to save money.
Yeah.
Last question I have for you guys, and I don't care. I know you're passionate about this line of this product. I don't know exactly what it does because it has so much stuff, but I want anybody watching this or maybe listen to it later that wants to find out more about Cellcore. Because I know you guys, it's a very high grade supplement. It is not. I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's actually got a different layer.
It changed my life.
To it. Yeah. So what is Cellcore? Give us just and again, y'all's time is valuable. So how much time you want to spend? What is Cellcore?
Yeah, Cellcore essentially was started by two doctors that their wives were chronically ill, one with mold and one with Lyme disease, and they could not figure out how to get their wives well. And they felt like they knew medicine, they felt like they knew supplementation, but their wives were always sick, always brain fog, chronic fatigue syndrome, muscle pain, almost resembling autoimmune conditions, could not get well. So they sat down with scientists and they formulated a whole line of products that essentially are working on detoxification, working on setting up the body's mitochondrial function to be strong enough to detoxify, and then working on those primary organs that are aiding in detoxification, like, the gallbladder, the liver, the spleen, the kidneys. We have so many organs that are going to help process and move out toxins.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times the sicker we get, whether it be from an autoimmune condition, from mold, from Lyme, the body's inability to remove toxins becomes weakened and the toxins become stored, and then you get sicker and you get sicker. And so what happens or the idea where Cellcore was birthed is, let's set the body up to be able to remove these toxins, and then the body is able to be healed.
Yeah,
right,
everything
like
goes better when
yeah, if you had all this stuff just sitting and it's in a sink and it needed to go down the disposal, let's get that disposal working and we're going to have a better
But there's
health.
a lot of products to do
There's
this.
a lot of products.
And so it depends on what.
Yeah. So the way the system needs to work is you would need to ideally sign up with a coach at our store, whether that be Amber or James.
Yes.
We have two different coaches that are trained in Cellcore. And what they're going to do is they're going to listen to your health journey, and they're going to listen to specifically symptoms.
I take 2 Cellcores every day.
I do too.
Yeah, okay.
I take Biotoxin Binder and BCATP every day. Yeah. And I did it during pregnancy and breastfeeding.
Okay.
That
still
makes you all feel much more energetic, doesn't it?
It does, because I have 2 genes, the COMT gene and the MTHFR gene, that makes me not able to detox as well. That's why I was more susceptible to mold. But with that being said, you would make an appointment with James or Amber, and they would listen to what's going on, and then they would set you up on the correct protocol unique to your health, because this is not something you're going to understand by walking in our store.
And you don't want to mess with it. It's powerful.
Is this, I've heard the words, please correct me on this, pharmaceutical grade supplements kind of research on this? I mean, this is high-end research, right?
It is. It's practitioner grade for sure. That would be the word. Yeah, practitioner grade.
That's my fault, not theirs.
But when you're detoxing, you can get these things called Herxheimer reactions, or a negative reaction, because you're going to feel kind of bad as you're moving toxins out, unless you've properly supported the body to do it right. And our coaches can set you up to do it right.
Thank you for correcting me on that. The terminology and verbiage matters when you're talking about stuff with people's health. Again, we're not diagnosing, we're not treating, we're not telling you to stop or start medications. That's between you and your doctor. But I also believe that these kind of Q&As are really beneficial. It's been I kept you 20 minutes longer than I said I would. I apologize, but it's been really good.
Thank you.
Very well. We answered a ton of questions. Thanks to everybody for texting me and for sending me private Facebook messages. Yes, sir. Back to you.
Follow your ancient intuition. Bam.
See, here's why he's saying this. You know what? I'm just going to let it go.
What is that?
So yesterday we were pre-recording Vital Health Radio, and we had a guest on.
Rev,
the guy that makes people,
Dr. Matt.
Yeah. I introduced him as the guy that makes people cry. So you would like
or
that.
Throw up.
Yeah. But anyway, he's a great guest, but he used ancient intuition or ancient intelligence, the real AI. And I wasn't looking at your dad. You know how you and I can read your dad?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't even look at him, and I knew he was going to use it.
You knew
he didn't hear anything after that, Matt said. And a few minutes later, he goes, yes, the AI, ancient. And I was, oh.
You're like, oh, no, it's on every podcast now.
It is now.
That's funny.
I love it, though. It's true.
I love that. Yeah.
Thanks for listening, Deborah. She said it was a great show. Everybody, we appreciate it very much. And Ed, Katie, thank you. NutritionW.com if you want to find out more and have deeper conversations. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Thank you, Clint.
Thank you.
Bam.